You can be rigorous while still being real.
Right. Man, you gotta put that on a shirt or something. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
And science has become a vibe. It's an aesthetic. It's a marketing tool. Science, or the aesthetic or vibes of science, is now just a tool as a commercial.
The flashy titles are nice, but also do your due diligence, because like, at least in our world, man, specificity is king. It's not only how you do it, but who's doing it, the intent to which they're doing it, and even the intent of the researchers in large.
Because if you lose, like, let's say, a bond, and then it loses the shape, that protein does not have any role, and then has to be denatured.
Overrides the endogenous production to an extent. Instead of getting fluctuations in those hormones, now we get a more steady state.
Even if autophagy was worth targeting, that you should train and eat trying to increase autophagy, you can't measure it. Like, you can't measure it. I've measured it. It ain't easy. Wait. Do you mean to say, meaning calories in versus calories out?
Unfortunately, I think the laws of thermodynamics still kind of...
Shit. God damn. We thought we found a biohack.
Way to
we were
truly
going to optimize our way around the laws of thermodynamics and shit. There's a difference between talking about the specific data and the potential applications or impact, sometime in the future, versus talking about these really obscure, esoteric, basic data as if they have application now in real life for people to take and use.
What exercise does, basically, you have a tissue that starts contracting, energy has to come from somewhere. Do you have the apparatus set for the stress that you are exercising? If you don't have, your body's going to build up.
People say that autophagy will reverse aging or trick your body into aging backwards. Imagine gaslighting yourself so hard you do it at the level of the gene.
Because it is confusing. There's a lot of stuff out there that's like, do phase-based training and you should do high intensity stuff at this time on this day, and it's not that clear cut.
When there's studies in the literature, we see kind of have these like weird results, and we kind of go back to, okay, what's the actual potential mechanism here?
You really just can't go to some wellness or fitness center or holistic medicine thing, or your doctor, or even a lab, and say, measure autophagy in me. And if that were the case, the follow-up question would be, okay, in what tissue? And you don't know. You might have an idea of research. You might have an idea of what it is to do a study, but it's not until you're in the trenches or on the drawing board or facing your committee during your defense that's like, okay, it's a whole other thing. There are things that are true at the level of the cell, like physiologically true at the level of the cell. However, we ain't concerned about the cell. Like, we ain't concerned about like one adipocyte. Hey, what's going on in there, bro? No, we care about the level of the whole body. People even got shirts talking about feeling autophagy. Motherfucker, you can't feel your lysosomes. So there are things that are physiologically true at the level of the cell. However, do they matter at the level of the whole body? No, they're not true at the level of the whole body. Any students, thinking about science or thinking about research or just thinking about like whatever area of study might be like a distant thing, right? Like it's not real. It's like it's not real. Right, it's not accessible. It's like some abstract thing that you read in a textbook or something that your professors talk about, or the research stuff. It's like, I know what it is, but I don't really know what it is. And if you can, talk about things and communicate it in like a real way.
1000%. And like, that's all it takes. Once you have the spark, then you can you can make it through a PhD program, man. You can make it through the rigor. You really can. You know what I mean?
The issue is when those terms or science or research are used unscrupulously in order to push something. And the idea of the science or being science-backed is used more as a marketing tactic used by people or companies or people on behalf of companies.
Well, and as you alluded, the women's health space right now is littered with that. So, and I'm going to be super excited and say a lot of like, we don't know.
where science is primarily a means to drive revenue, rather than the science itself being used to validate the claims that are being made and the efficacy of the use of whatever the product or service is. It's an aesthetic more than it is a principle. There's a difference between education, including passionate education, and like proselytizing, like you're some preacher or TV evangelist.
But just how one practices medicine, one practices law, like we're practicing science. Like this is what it is.
And that don't work for me.
That don't work.
That don't work for me.
Right.
I listened to it on 2X just to get through it.
Right.
You know?
Right.
It ain't happening.
Right. And you're exactly right about that, man. You're exactly right.